So how was your week?
I've had like a super uneventful week. I did nothing. Like I wasted days doing nothing. I was just like face down playing stupid games on my phone and like Candy Crush junk like that. And then
what games are you playing on your phone these days?
Just Candy Crush is one that I've been playing for like 3 phones now.
Like for real, like shoot Candy Crush.
Yeah, the actual Candy Crush. So I play that every once in a while. And then like I try games here and there.
Yeah.
Like I had one that was like a word unscramble crossword one, and I didn't like that. So
Words?
Words, yes, words. So I got rid of that one. And then I had another one. I'm trying to remember what the other game was. There was one that's like Tetris, but it's not. So I tried that one. I was like, no, I don't like this either. Because they all have like, other than Candy Crush, which you can choose to get ads if you want bonuses. Like, oh, watch this ad and get a bonus. Like, whatever. Extra moves or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I don't want the extra bonuses, so I don't play the ads. But on everything else, between every move, they're like, here's an ad that you can't X out until we're done. And I'm like, I'm out. I'm off. I'm gone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind if you have like a little click on thing, like a link through or something. I'm fine. But when I have to watch a 30-second ad, I'm out. So I got rid of that one from Tetris. I got rid of the Scrabble-esque word unscramble one. And then the newest one that I have, but it has ads, but it's one of those that it's very satisfying to me. It's like they're beakers filled with different color sands.
Okay.
And it's a mind game that you have to kind of like, okay, you have one empty test tube. So you have to pour you pour like, oh, the red one in here, and then you can only pour the like more red on top of it. So you have to move sand from beaker to beaker until you have all the same colors in one of them.
Right.
And that's a mindless one that I just like. It's like, oh, I'll play this for like before I go to bed, I'll play it for like 15 minutes or whatever. And then like, okay, I'm done. You know what I mean? But that one has ads, and I'm like, okay, I don't know. So basically Candy Crush is the only one.
Again, with Candy Crush, there's no way I can convince you to try my Marvel Puzzle Quest.
No, because I would be starting from level 1 where I'm on level, 2000 now.
Oh, gotcha.
Candy Crush. And it's not even, but the thing I don't like about Candy Crush is you have 5 lives to get. Have you ever played Candy Crush?
Yeah.
Okay, you know the drill then. It's like, okay, you have 5 lives. You use a life. If you complete a board, with all the moves, you keep your lives. But if you lose one, like you don't get it, it's like 15 minutes until you get that life back, and you burn through all 5, and you have to wait, whatever. I'm like, that keeps me from playing it constantly, if that makes any sense.
Gotcha.
So it's like, oh, when those 5 lives are up, I'm done with this game. I don't want to be attached to like, oh, I have to play this for an hour to get this or that. It's like, oh, my 5 lives. If I'm on a run, if I'm on a heater, as they say, I'll get I'll play it until the lives are gone. Or occasionally they'll give you infinite lives as a prize.
Oh,
so it's like, oh, I have 5 hours of infinite lives. There goes 5 hours of my life.
There is, when we went to Dave & Buster's, this was many, many moons ago, pre-pandemic, it was like right before the pandemic.
Right.
We went to Dave & Buster's, and they have a Candy Crush arcade machine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I saw it. That's the only place I've ever seen it. But I assume with as popular as Candy Crush is, I assume that would be, and again, to say, like, I messed around with Candy Crush before it was, like, a separate app, when it was just, like, a Facebook thing.
Okay.
And then, like, some company bought it and then turned it into an app and kind of, like, took it away from Facebook.
Right.
But there is, like, and there's, like, all these, like, oh, Candy Crush Saga and Candy Crush this, right? But that's a long, long time ago. I'm coming up on, like, 9 years with Marvel Puzzle Quest, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, I have Pokemon Go. And then my kid got me into this other one. It's called Dragon City.
Okay.
It's like a little resource management game sort of thing where like, you know, you put these two dragons together and then so like there's all like little it's one of these games where so there's so many mobile games out there that are like resource management games. I wish I could remember a lot of the names of them, but they're very much like Animal Crossing, right?
Okay.
Where you could be as involved or not involved as you possibly can be. Like,
right.
There's people that I knew, like, and I gave up on Animal Crossing. Like, that's crazy that, like, you know, early in the pandemic, I played that game so goddamn much. But, like, literally, we couldn't do anything, right?
Yeah, wasn't that like the luck of the draw that it came out there and it blew up?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I
think.
thought.
I think it came out the Friday before everything shut down. Mm-hmm. And everybody had it pre-ordered and went and got it on Friday. And then, like, that Monday is when, like, everything started shutting down. And then by, like, that Thursday, everything was shut down.
Luckily, Candy Crush in, like, the first month gave you a week of infinite lives.
Oh, yeah?
So I was like, I'm like Reed Richards in his lab. I need somebody to remind me to eat when that happened. Stuff. But yeah, I never played Animal Crossings or any of those types.
Yeah, but there's like all these different ones. Like my kid has this other one that he plays all the time that's called like My Singing Monsters.
Okay.
And then there's another one that he plays that's called Cookie Run. Like Cookie Run was just like one of those like, you ever see those like runner type games where your person's kind of like stationary almost in front of the screen and like you move them like left and right and up and down to avoid things and like collect the coins or the rings or the whatever the hell it is, right?
Right, you grab guns that shoot more and kill the zombies, whatever. It's, yeah.
Right, so that's like a genre of mobile games, but that particular mobile game took off, and they turned it into an Animal Crossing type game, where you build the resources things, and then like, okay, when you create these resources, you need these two resources to make this other item, and then when you make this item, you combine that item, but these like you could just do the battles in the game, or you could just do the resources, or you could just do the building, or you could just do the whatever. But the Dragon City one that he has me playing, he comes in and out of it, but that one is just more or less like, I'm just trying to get all the dragons in the game.
Right. The House of Dragons over there at Sposto's house.
Right. But he, because he has like a kid's account or whatever, every time he downloads a new game, I get a notification of like, hey, your kid downloaded this thing or whatever it is.
Yep.
And he always complains about his phone running slow. And I get like maybe 10 notifications a week of him downloading new shit for his phone.
I wonder what it could be.
I wonder what it could be as well. And then the other one that I just recently downloaded, and I haven't played it, but it was one of those things that like, I used to play it on the Xbox. Are you aware of a game called Peggle?
Yeah, isn't that when a woman... No, I don't know.
No, come on now. Wait a second.
Right.
But it's essentially kind of... Do you remember Arkanoid?
No.
Arkanoid where... do you remember Brickout?
Yes, that's... Okay, so that's like... Yeah, I know Brickout.
Okay, so if you know Brickout, you know Arkanoid, you know Peggle. Peggle is essentially, instead of bricks, it's little pegs. You shoot a little pinball, and there's like patterns, and the whole thing is to try to clear as many of the little pegs with one shot. And the more of a chain that you get, the more points that you get, right?
So let me ask you a question. So you get like a red ball, and you want to hit a red pegs, and then they'll bleed away or something?
Well, it's silver. Okay. They're all blue, and they'll be like 2 or 3 orange ones that are like bonus points, right?
Right.
And the further along that you get them in the chain, the more points they are, and so on and so forth. And the whole thing is to clear out all the pegs without running out of the balls that you have, right?
No, I get you. I saw a version where it's the same thing, but the pegs are different rainbow colored, and they're big chunks. So when you get whatever color, it's like you have to hit that color and you try to knock away. Yeah, but it's a different thing. But go ahead. Right.
So that was a game that me and April, we would have on the Xbox, and that was like a newer game that I had, 15 years ago or 10, whatever the hell it was. And it was just like a fun, like puzzly little thing, and then we were thinking about it. I'm like, oh, do they have it for the Switch? I wonder if they have it for the Switch. And you go and you search, and like it's not out for the Switch because it's through EA, and EA has like a license with PlayStation, whatever.
Right.
And then you go, and if you search like, is Peggle on the Switch, you get the thing of like, here's 20 games that are just like Peggle for the Switch. And I'll have you know, they're nothing like Peggle, right?
Right.
But then I'm like, oh, there's an app for Peggle. It's, the official thing. It's EA. It's a branded thing and everything else like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to just download that and have that on my phone. If I ever get the itch to play that game again, I have it on my phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to, boot up the Xbox 360 and run, 9,000 updates.
Right.
And whatever,
But, yeah,
I did not have you pegged for a Candy Crush guy.
You know what? Okay, when once I asked you about, and I remember the moment exactly, asking you about Marvel Puzzle Quest.
Okay.
Because we were together and we were killing time at Baltimore Comic-Con. One of the times we were there together.
Okay.
And I walked over and you're like, I'm like, oh, can you explain it to me? And it's like, oh, and I was like, oh, it's like Candy Crush. So I was playing Candy Crush all the way back then.
Okay.
And you were explaining to me, and then I walked away because I needed to fart, and then I came back. Because I'll never forget it. You were like, you asked me about Marvel Puzzle Quest, and now you're walking away. And you kind of looked annoyed, and I'm like, trust me, you want me to walk away.
All right.
And then I came back, and you explained more Marvel Puzzle Quest to me. And then I was like, yeah, this is, all this is Candy Crush with Marvel characters, and I'm like, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, because then I found Marvel Puzzle Quest with Doctor Who characters.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, well, if you get on that, and I was like, this I don't even find fun. It's like, oh, you got to pick your team, and I'm like,
yeah,
it's too overthinking. It's why I don't play what are the Final Fantasies or any of those games where you have to figure out how to balance all your offense and defense.
Right.
Because I overthink everything. I go, oh, well, I should have more. No, what should I have? Should I have a bigger gun and less armor? No, that's not for me. Candy Crush, just move these colors and you go to the next board. And it's kind of like, as we always joke, why I wear the same clothes, because I don't have to overthink that. It's like, that's the way my mind works, because I'm absolutely insane.
I heard on a podcast today, and again, it was the Kevin Nash podcast.
No, then I don't know if you can trust it.
I do trust it, even though they're a week behind. He was just talking about going to GalaxyCon last weekend. On the podcast that came out on Monday. Their recording and release schedule sucks, but anyway. The T-shirts that you wear that have the pocket on them, they have a name.
They're pocket tees.
No. There's a different name, and I wish I could. I meant to write it down while I was listening to the show.
You know what? Kevin Nash doesn't know what he's talking about. These are pocket tees. That's the end. Black shirts with pockets, T-shirts with pockets on them. That's what they're called. Or the Todd uniform. That's
okay. So, speaking of apps, and I know you enjoy this, and we got tagged in a story about this. You want to hear a great story about me ordering fast food on my many apps?
When don't I, Joe?
Well, again, you just give me a hard time about these sort of things, right?
Right. I love shitting on your food. So
please don't do that.
Right.
So I go and I ordered McDonald's, and they recently changed the McDonald's app where they added a bunch of different payment methods. In the past, the only way that you could pay through it was with a credit or debit card, right? Mm-hmm. But now they finally added PayPal and Google Pay and all the other different forms of pay methods that people would use, that you could use those to pay through your McDonald's app, okay?
Right. I hope crypto is on there too.
I don't know. I haven't dug that deep into it. I just have it set up with my card. That's all I need, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we talked before about how they changed the Dunkin' Donuts one, and we got tagged in a story by the Mad Bassist about the weird charges that people were seeing for the Dunkin' Donuts one,
Yeah. First of all, the problem is people are ordering bagels at Dunkin' Donuts.
Don't get me started.
Right, you're ordering yucky dough at Dunkin' Donuts. But go ahead.
You get a coffee. You got to order the hash browns, and if you got a kid in the car, you maybe get them some munchkins. That's it. That's all you get from Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
Anyway, so I like the McDonald's one because they have a points thing, and the app used to work really good, but now the app don't work so good. Sure. I am really close to the McDonald's that I go to. Right, mm-hmm. I'm 3 blocks away from the McDonald's. the way that it used to work was it'd be like, oh, you make your order, and a thing will pop up. It says, all right, we're preparing your order. Let us know when you're here. And I could I could right here and say, I'm here. And it'll say, our GPS tells us you're not close. How about you try this when you're close? Okay. Mm-hmm. And usually it's like in the parking lot. So you do that, you hit it. And it's like, okay, we see that you hit the button that says you're here. We see that you're here based on the GPS positioning. You want to come in and get it, drive through, or you want us to bring it out to you, right? Mm-hmm. So usually the way that I work it is, look at the drive-through. If it's all backed up, I'll go and I'll have you bring it out to me, right?
Right.
So now, within the last month or so, I'll do my order and I'll get ready to go. And literally, I'll do my order on my phone at the house, and then I get the pop-up message that says, oh, we see that you're nearby. Do you want us to start making your order? And I'm like, I'm close, but I'm not that close, right?
Right.
So I say no. And then I go and I hop in the car and I go over and then I pull in the parking lot and I pull up the app and I hit the thing that says, I'm here. And it says, we see that you're not close enough to the store. How about you try it again when you're closer?
Oh, boy.
Okay. But when it does that now, and this was the other thing is, so the way the McDonald's app would work is it would not charge you. So if you go through the drive-through, they don't charge you until they give you your receipt. If you go to do the pickup, once you hit the thing that says, I'm here, I'm in spot number whatever, and then you say, confirm that you're in spot whatever, yes, and then it charges you, right? And that's when you know the thing goes through, right?
Right.
So the other day I go through, same thing, tells me I'm at my house. It says, we see that you're here. Do you want to start preparing your order? No. I go to the store, and I say, I'm here, and they say, we don't see that you're close enough. Okay, so I go, they're like, how do you want to do your, but it still asks me if I want to do my order. So I go, pick up, spot whatever, confirm, bing, it says, we'll bring your food out to you, and I get the email confirmation that my card has been charged, right? Mm-hmm. 15 minutes go by. Nothing, right? So I go in, I go, hey, I didn't order through the app. I go, I see it sitting right there, because there's a thing on there that says my name. There's a receipt printed out that says my name. And I go, you guys didn't bring it out? And they're like, oh, well, you didn't do the thing where it pushes it to the second stage because, you whatever. But, once you hit the thing of what spot you're in, that's when we bring it out to you. I go, I did that. And they're like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, yes, I did. I go, because I got the email that you guys charged me, right? And they're like, oh, well, we didn't get the notification.
Oh, go, well, there's your problem right there.
Right. I go, okay. So the manager is like, don't worry about it. Do you want the food or not? I go, no. I go, it's been sitting there for 15 minutes. I got to get back to work. He goes, let me just give you your money back. And he just gave me cash back, right?
Okay.
And I go, what's going on? And he goes, ever since they did the update, we are having nothing but problems. They even had a field rep come through and do the same thing. And he goes, we got scored off on it because he was sitting out there for whatever, and the order never came through on that second whatever. Mm-hmm. So there's that Mick franchise guy that I always tweet at. And I tweeted at him today just saying, hey, have you guys seen any issues with this, right? So what's happening is, you know how these days, you probably have your phone connected to your Wi-Fi at your house, right?
Yep.
And when you're far enough away, it'll just kick over to
towers.
The towers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently there's something that they did with the update of the app that once you're close, it starts roaming for the Wi-Fi, the McDonald's Wi-Fi, because McDonald's gives free Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. And if you have not allowed the McDonald's Wi-Fi to connect to the app, then you're not. It causes a weird thing with the connection with the store because it thinks you don't have any internet, and then the app's not working properly, and so on and so forth. And the guy said to me, he goes, you got to go into your terms and conditions for whatever store it is that you're doing, especially if it's a regular store, and make sure that you allow their Wi-Fi to connect to the app, and then you shouldn't have any problems.
See, I would think that certain places, the Wi-Fi at McDonald's would be universal. Do you know what I mean?
you still have to like even like Knoebels has Wi-Fi, right?
Right.
And when you go there, it's free Wi-Fi, but you actually have to like, okay,
you have to accept whatever.
You have to accept it, right? Because it's not just going to automatically connect to your phone, and the McDonald's Wi-Fi is not going to automatically connect to your phone, but the McDonald's Wi-Fi is going to try to automatically connect to the app.
Right, because I have the Giant Store app for my phone just to see what's on sale. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But when I go to any Giant Market, like I accepted for my app with the Giant Market in Dixon to be like, okay, I want to, you want to use the Wi-Fi in here, accept, blah, blah, blah. And now when I go to the one on Greenridge Street, my phone automatically hooks up because it's a Giant Store.
Interesting.
So that's why I was thinking, I was like, oh, this problem seems like easily solvable compared to blah, blah, blah. And I've done it like at Giant. I've done it. I'm trying to think of like what restaurants, like chain restaurants I've gone to. Like, let's just say, I can't say it is one, but TGI Fridays, where I've gone into the TGI Fridays in Dixon and they're like, you want our free Wi-Fi? Sure. Boom. Then I've gone to the TGI Fridays in Wilkes-Barre, and it's like, you are connected to TGI Fridays because it's just the same code that it's written to like the thing, and then the passwords are all the same. So, or something like that. I'm not, I am the technical guy. But
what you're saying, it makes sense, but I think that is something new that's added on the McDonald's app that wasn't in there before.
Okay.
And even though because I never said at any McDonald's, connect to the Wi-Fi, right? Mm-hmm. But now the fact that the app is trying to connect to the Wi-Fi, it's interfering with the actual towers, and it's not letting the orders go through.
I will say I don't eat McDonald's a lot, but when I want to be extra healthy, I go there. And I pull up and I'll do the drive-thru, or if I'm running late and I do the drive-thru. And I love when I pull up to the drive-thru, the actual drive-thru with a microphone asking me, the first question out of their mouth is, will you be using the app today? Get the fuck out of here. I'm at the speaker talking to you. Do you really think I'm gonna punch something in when I could just tell you what I want? Like, that's crazy.
Well, so here's the reason why is because so many of these places do their rewards program. Just as an example, we were out to eat today, and we'll close with what happened with me going out to eat today. But Ace and I were talking about going to Red Lobster. Mm-hmm. Red Lobster has an app. Red Lobster has a rewards program. All of these places, these chain places, all have these reward programs. And if you're just Joe Schmo like you going in and I want 10-piece chicken nugget or whatever the hell it is that you get. Well, if you have the rewards thing and you order the 10-piece chicken nuggets, maybe you get 20% off today because whatever they're running on the app or all these other things. And then people are like, well, you didn't tell me I had the thing. It's like, well, you didn't tell me that you're using the app. So that's why they have to start with that sort of thing. And even if you didn't do the order on the app, you could say, no, I'm not doing an order on the app, but they have to do something so that when you go through, they'll scan your app so that you get rewards for that purchase. Right. Conversely,
get you.
Well, conversely, Krispy Kreme by the comic shop has the app, right? Mm-hmm. But the problem is our Krispy Kreme is so old, they don't have the updated scanners that connects to the app. So if you go and you have the Krispy Kreme app to be part of the rewards program for our Krispy Kreme, you have to take the receipt and go home, log into the website. Oh, forget about it, Todd. And I go,
Joe.
And I said, I'm just going to delete the app. We're cool.
Do you know what I like to do? I like to go to a restaurant or a fast food restaurant. I like to give them fucking money, and then I like when they give me my fucking food.
I agree.
Take all those unfucking necessary steps out of it. And I get it. Maybe during the pandemic, though I'm starting to think it was all an opportunity. That they're like, oh, okay, when there's a long line, you could do that to me seems good, but now we just know that it's for the fact that with apps and shit, we don't have to hire people. And that's what it comes down to, because I've been to a McDonald's without the app, and it's there's one person in there. Like maybe two. Like you look and there's like one person running the speaker, one person taking the money, and between the two of them, they're making food. And I'm like,
my McDonald's, I could vouch. So even my Long John Silver's, which is a ghost town half the time, they forget to turn on the light for the sign outside, right? I'll go over there at 7:00 on a Wednesday to get, my chicken planks, and there'll still be 3 to 4 people working. Minimum.
Well, that's different. That's a high quality restaurant right there. We're talking about McDonald's.
I will say, to bring it back around there, the one place where I see there's the minimal folks is the Dunkin' Donuts. Mm-hmm. The Dunkin' Donuts on the way up to DJ's house.
Right.
If I've seen 2 people working in that store, it's like a unicorn. It's always one person doing everything at that the one that's beyond the gas station or whatever on the way up to DJ's house. Then the one that we go to on 315, they stopped letting you sit inside to eat your food. Like you can come, if you place an order on the app, you can come in and pick up your food, but you ain't sitting in here.
I'll tell you, the Wendy's by my house, the one going up by Lowe's, you know what I mean? Like Commerce Boulevard there, they had for the longest time, and it wasn't like they were remodeling, they were the same way. If you want to come in, you can get your food, but they taped off the dining area.
Yeah.
Or if they didn't tape it off, there's like 2 tables now. But like the other tables are still there. You get me? Like we're taping off everything but 2, and I'm like, man, oh man, everything's becoming, what do they call those? Like a Taco Bell Express, you know?
Mm-hmm. And that's okay. That's fine.
I don't know. I like to sit down and make myself an annoyance.
No, I got to get my food and get the hell out of here.
You know what? And I know we'll get to your dining experience, but me tonight, I ate at the Glider Diner.
Oh.
Sat down at the Glider Diner, had a waitress look at me, gave her my order. She got it right. Got extra stuff that I wanted. I wanted extra mashed potatoes. I got extra mashed potatoes. It was all good. I paid with cash. I tipped her, and then I left.
Diner's a different story than a fast food joint.
Give it time, and it'll be like, the one from the Star Wars prequels.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, that's a 50s diner?
Yeah, with the robots.
Run by Dax Jexter, whatever the hell his name was.
Right. Cloners.
Yeah. So we had to go do some exploring down in downtown Wilkes-Barre today. So we went to the Thai place down in Wilkes-Barre, right?
Right. You were buying a necktie?
No.
Okay.
What the hell is that Simpsons joke? You like Thai? Yeah. Do you like shirt? Anyway. Went to the Thai place, got Thai. It's been so long since we went there. It's so good. You know what I mean? It's, if you get, like, obviously, if you like spicy stuff, you go to a Thai place. If you're like me and you like bland as bland can be, you could still get, like, a ton of food for a really good price. So I'm eating, and my goddamn crown from my root canal fell off again.
Again?
Todd. This root canal was done over 4 years ago, and this thing has fallen off at least 6 times.
What are you eating? Marbles?
Nothing. The guy, my wife tells me that the guy who did it did a shitty job.
Oh, are you eating gummy candy?
I do eat gummy candy, but I don't eat them on that side of my mouth because I know better.
Good for you. And when you were in the Thai restaurant, did you say, like, I'll have this, but unflavored for me?
The only thing is, this particular one, in their fried rice, they put tomatoes.
Oh.
Okay, now wait. And the one time I went, I'm like, all right, I'll get the authentic experience, right? Mm-hmm. And Todd, when I say tomatoes, it was like tomato, like, wedges. In the fried rice. So now I know, I look at the thing and I'm like, oh, that's right. I can't get it's been a long time since we've been there. And I'm like, oh, I can't get the tomatoes in this. I have to say, whatever fried rice, blah, 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 no tomatoes in the fried rice. And they're like, no problem.
Right. Fried rice with me, the restaurant that I always go to, that's my go-to.
Yeah.
I always get the shrimp fried rice. And the shrimp fried rice consists of shrimp, rice, and onions, and that's it.
That's the perfect mix.
Exactly. And I drive by 3 fucking Chinese restaurants that all have, like, here's your shrimp fried rice with peas and carrots. And I'm like, no. Shrimp, rice, onions. And then, like, I asked for that, and then they made them, like, you get it and you don't get it the way you want. Nope. I'll go 2 towns over.
Yeah.
My fried rice the way I like.
But the Thai place, it's like it's onions. It's like big onion slices, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's carrots, but it's like these julienne like carrot like coins in there, you know?
Right.
But my Chinese place that I go to, same thing. The only way that you get vegetables is if you get like the vegetable fried rice or the lo mein or whatever it is, and there it's like sparingly. Like I got the vegetable fried rice one time, and like no fooling, it was like 3 peas.
Oh. And you like more pea in your food.
I do. I do.
But yeah, I'm the same way. I like, even at my restaurant, they have the chicken with broccoli, which I like, and they'll throw in, but they're not coin shaped. They're slivers of carrot. So they grind it like down from top to bottom, and there'll be like 5 pieces of carrot in your chicken and broccoli, and the rest is chicken and broccoli. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to go out of my mind to say no carrots, because I'll just either push those off on the side,
because it's
or they
like,
get inhaled.
Yeah.
They get inhaled, and they're covered in the chicken and broccoli sauce. So you're like, oh, I'm tasting the sauce more than the carrot. But they have my favorite shrimp egg rolls, and they have my favorite shrimp fried rice. So literally, Dixon, I go over to Jessup to go get it.
Okay. So one of these days, I'm gonna have to. One of these days when we're up that way, and my dad decides we're gonna do Chinese food night for Sunday night dinner, I'm gonna mention that place to him.
Okay.
I'll get the name of them off the air.
Yep.
All right, so that's it. We were almost running a little bit late because my wife was putting my crown back on my the post for my root canal.
Where's your crown, King Nothing?
Yeah, exactly. It was in my fried rice. All right. Hey, everyone, that was episode 437 of Longbox Heroes After Dark, a return to form, if you will. Patreon.com/Longbox Heroes. Go check out the eBay affiliate links. The usual mishigosh.
Illegal phrasing and stuff.
Yes. Oh, yeah. What's the
verbiage? You always say legal verbiage.
Right. Now I don't have the correct verbiage here. I'll have to get it later. I'm not worried. All right. See y'all next week, everybody.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.